Hello, everyone. This one is going to be on uh, God and my sexual orientation as a Jehovah Witness, as an ex-Jehovah Witness, and as a Catholic. Um, First, I want to say that I know that that God wants me to do something. I mean, I know what He wants me to do. He wants me to to show people that they're more to themselves than just their body. To show people that there's more to themselves than just their body. That's um, what I do in this YouTube is I show people the things that I've learned throughout life. This is just what I want to say first. My purpose. And I know it's more, but that's the number one thing that I'm doing now. It's about everything that I've learned and I was taught by God. I mean, I know that because there's no way in the world I could learn all of this without having some kind of assistance. Like anybody else everybody else who has done something that was that benefited others in a perfect way. I know that they had help. There's no way in the world you can get help unless it's God, you know. So I just wanted to say that's my purpose. Now I'm getting into the setup the way I said, my sexual orientation. Oh, and I just wanted to say that I didn't say it, but I want to stress it. That's what I do in my YouTubes. I mean, I think, and I just want to say that it's just to help people is what um it's basically what God has taught me throughout my life. Okay, so now I'm getting into my sexual orientation as a Jehovah Witness, ex-Jehovah Witness, and a Catholic. I think it's good for me to do this because there's been others who has helped me as far as my sexual orientation, and I never really did anything, you know, to to help people as far as this is concerned, which they helped me, no matter who they were. So I think it's good because it's like I'm at least doing something. I know I mentioned my orientation in a lot of my videos, but it was, you know, in the earlier ones. I don't know if anybody has seen them, but you know, when I started doing YouTubes, I was open about my sexuality, my sexual orientation, because I didn't like the different personalities. But now I'm getting into as a Jehovah Witness. I want to start with when I was member. I remember when I was Jehovah Witness, and they would have this video. I mean, it was a movie. We loved that movie. I think they would show it to us one. I think I saw it. I just saw it at least 5 or 6 times while I was Jehovah Witness. I don't know if they show. They usually show it when the circuit overseer came about how the world will be in the future, which is like right now. Okay. And one of the things that struck me, it was just a good movie. I mean, we really liked it. But it was just like all about the world, you know. I don't know where they get that movie, but it was probably one of the best. It was probably the most memorable thing that I remember. The most memorable thing I had since I was a Jehovah Witness. And at the end of the movie, they had some things like people are going to change their color, and then they had people green, and I don't know if anybody remembers it, but this was in the 70s and 60s, and they had people coming out the elevator and stuff like they were green, they were orange, and they could change their color. And they also had a segment where they had two men that were getting married, and they had them get married in the church. And I remember after the meeting, after the circuit overseer meeting. It was always during a circuit overseer's visit. And I remember myself at one of my congregations outside, just when I got older, and I would say to myself, how can a man marry a man if they have the same thing? And I was thinking to myself, how is that possible? I mean, the lady has more things, and the guy doesn't. They have the exact same thing, you know. But I wasn't, didn't think bad about her or anything. That's another thing about Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't really. I think they don't believe in that kind of lifestyle at all. So you're not really. You don't really learn anything about it. Anyway, when I was growing up, as I said in my earlier videos, I never knew anything about sex whatsoever. They had a sex education course, and my mother signed a paper so that I couldn't go. So I remember me and Joanne Albano had to stay in the home economics room I think it was every Friday or something that they played I don't know when they played it, but they played it like it was over. It wasn't like a 1 day thing, but me and Joanne Albano had to stay. We were the only two that couldn't, go. And she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness. I think she was in another religion, something like, I don't know. I'm not going to even try and figure that out. And we had a nice time, and it made me have to remember her for the rest of my life. We did have a nice time, me and her, while the students were in the sex education course. So everything I learned was just by how I learned, okay? But that's one thing I remember. Now, as far as I can go, I mean, I can tell you, I was very sheltered. I mean, very sheltered. I remember when I was in high school and I didn't know I was outgoing at all. But I remember I was just so serious. And I remember one time I was coming down the stairs and my sister, Lynette DeFore, it was her name. I remember her saying, Man was my nickname, okay? Man, you have a letter. And he gave me a letter from our neighbor. It was, we had these neighbors that were Jehovah's Witnesses too, and we got along very well together. But one of the girls kind of liked me, and she gave me a note. I think they were like feeling sorry for me or something. I don't know. She goes, "You're so serious," and Theodora wanted to give you this letter. So she gave me her letter, and I couldn't believe it. Oh wow! And somebody was interested in me. But I remember right then and there, we became like boyfriend and girlfriend. We were like, going together as far as Jehovah's Witness is concerned, because you can't do too much. But I remember I never thought anything. Now that in hindsight, I mean, in retrospect, I can see that I never thought anything sexual with her. Nothing at all. But I liked her, and it made me excited. And I remember we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and I was just so serious. I mean, just so seriously in love with her. And one time, our parents went out, and we snuck over their house. And my sister liked the older guy. My sister liked Keith. Now he passed away. Um, and I liked Theodora. She was named after her father. Her father was Theodore, and they put an A on it, Theodora. They named her after him. And we would watch this TV program, and I remember I was so excited over her. But it was like, it, it was it wasn't really, now that I see, it wasn't sexual, but it was like a love. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't think about doing anything, but I was very excited. And then I remember us being upstairs in Gary's room. He was her brother, and they had bunk beds, and I was at the top bunk bed, and he was at the bottom. And Theodora came in, and we were like, I think like holding hands or whatever. But I didn't. I mean, I didn't do anything. We didn't do anything, but I definitely got excited. And I loved her. I really did. But it was like without anything. I mean, you can't do anything. We were alone together a lot. But I noticed also another thing in hindsight, whenever I was alone with her, I never I never did anything. I never pushed anything. I never like wanted to, like kiss her or anything, which I never did. But I was really, really excited and really, really in love. Anyway, my mother found one of our letters and she woke me up, and I put this in one of my earlier videos. And she got me up out of bed in the middle of the night, and she goes, "You are not going to fall. You are not going to like Theodore." And this was a Jehovah's Witness. I explained to you about how my mother was. She was like, with me, she already knew that I was different. She knew because she was in the world. She grew up in the world, and I was so young when I was a Jehovah's Witness, maybe 4 or 5. And I remember that moment, she getting me up because she found one of my letters. She goes, "I found one of your letters, love letters to her." And I remember looking out the window at the top of the stairs, and she goes, "You are not going to like Theodotus. All she wants is a hot dick up her ass." I mean, that's exactly what she said. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't even, I didn't get excited because my mother always talked to me differently than she talked to others. And however, I didn't know that she knew how I really was. So anyway, that went by, and I really stopped. I really went crazy. I really, really was really upset for about a year. I mean, when we were forcefully broke up, my mother talked to her, and she didn't want to talk to me anymore. I remember being in school and telling, and following her. And that's another sign that showed me that something was different. I was too much. It was too much in love. I mean, not in love, but it wasn't physical at all being young, and it's not physical at all. You know that there's something there. And I remember trying to talk to her in the hallway, and she goes, "Nope, it's over." And I remember we were outside, and I told her, and she goes, "No, I talked to your mother, no, and we can't be together or anything." So that went over, and then now I guess I can start like around when I was 17 or 18. When I was 17, I told you my mother was different with me. Like, I had friends from school at that time, and I had a car. And this is like when I left high school, when I just had graduated, and she would let me bring, my stepfather wasn't there, but they would come and meet me, and they would take me places. I had some friends. She never did anything. They were in the world. She just treated me differently. I exposed her in my earlier videos. And I remember I I remember as far as my sexual orientation was concerned, I used to always masturbate all the time. I remember when they had this self-abuse, this magazine, as far as self-abuse was concerned, and in the organization. And I remember, but there was nobody to talk to. I mean, if you wanted to talk to the elders, it had to be like a judicial meeting, and I wasn't going to do that, but I wanted to talk to someone about it because I would do it all the time. I wasn't doing it the right way. It was very complicated. Um, and I remember, just praying. I mean, I wasn't praying. It wasn't even like praying to Jehovah. It was more like praying to God, because I was like just talking, like saying, how am I gonna express all of this? That's why I know God was always with me, because there was always something there that I could talk to. It was something, but I didn't realize it. But I know it would take care of me, and now I can see God wanted me to do something. And because I would always say self-abuse. I mean, like, how can I tell somebody? How can I tell somebody? How can I tell somebody? And I said, there's going to come a day when I could tell somebody. And I remember getting baptized. And when I got baptized, I said, I'm never going to do it again. And then I remember I was sitting in a chair downstairs in the living room, and it happened again. And I tried not to, but it happened again. So I was just like, just total masturbation, you know. So then after that, when I got in after out of high school, I remember one time because I worked in the mall, and I remember one time going to his name is Jorva's Corvettes or something, and this was in the 80s, and I went into the store, and there was a hole in the bathroom, and this guy, did something. So I'm not gonna get too gruesome, but anyway, that started me doing things, but I didn't do too much. It was not. I never did anything hardcore, but I was doing it. I was doing. I found that I could do it. I had this orientation now with men, but it was secret because I was Jehovah Witness, and I was. So anyway, so that's how it started as far as my sexual orientation. I was attracted to men, okay? But it was a double life because I didn't want anybody else to know. I never told anybody. And at that point in time, it was like, it was just like there's no way in the world that I could ever tell anybody anything. So I still had girlfriends, but being a Jehovah's Witness, you can have a girlfriend. And anyway, when I had girlfriends, I was the other person. It was like that didn't happen. I always hid it from myself mostly. So I hid it from myself, and I was like, it was like, I hid it from myself. It was like I wasn't, and plus I didn't know what gay, I didn't know what homosexual, I didn't know anything as far as that was concerned. So, so I went on with my life, and I had this double life. I mean, I would never confess it to anybody. So, I was like that. And I remember one time my brother, who was getting, oh, my brother in law, my sister was getting married. My sister was getting married, and I was in their wedding. Yes, I was in their wedding. And we had to do the tuxedos. But I remember meeting this, first, I remember meeting this guy, okay? Yeah, I'm trying to see how this worked out. Yeah, I remember meeting. How in the world did that work out? Okay, first of all, I have to set you up because there was one guy in that congregation who looked exactly like me. He was just everybody was saying this guy looks like you, this guy looks like you. So I'm setting you up as far as the story is concerned, and so that's another story. So then I remember. So now I'm telling you this. I'm starting this other story where I met this guy. He was in a mall, and we did something, and and that was it. But I remember what happened was because you'll see once I tell the story. Uh, how in the world did that happen? Oh, okay. So what happened was that we were doing tuxedos. Okay, he worked for the tuxedo place. He worked for the tuxedo place in the mall. I'm trying to see how this worked out because let me see how it'll work out. I knew I had did something with him already. Okay. And okay, so I must have saw him after we did something. I saw him because he worked in the tuxedo place, okay? When I would go by and he would say hi or something, and I would go, why is this happening to me? Because that's another thing too, is that I would always, I mean, I knew God was around me because he would protect me from everything, but he wouldn't protect me from like something that was the truth, you know what I mean? And I saw him in a tuxedo place. But there was something else that happened. There's something else that happened. Okay, I'm trying to tell the story right, but I remember um, my my brother-in-law got his tuxedos in the same place that that guy worked at, and I had did something with him. But anyway, I was so afraid that he was going to tell somebody something. I was mortified that he was going to, say that he did something with me. I would have just died. I swear I would have died. But one time I remember my brother coming home and saying, that guy in the tuxedo place is really nice. I go, really? He goes, yeah, he told me to tell you hi. And I almost died. I go, oh, really? So anyway, I had to get my tuxedo fitted with him. And I went in to get fitted, and I didn't say anything to him at all. But it was just because I had a double life. It was just like, I don't even know how I got to get fitted with him, because I was so afraid that he was going to say something. But that's not it. The reason why it was hard for me to tell a story, because I remember going to the congregation, our meetings one time, and I saw him at the congregation. And his brother was the guy that looked like me, like I said. And I don't know why this thing keeps changing. But anyway, um, so he came to the meeting also with the, and that was his brother. And I go, oh, and I kept saying, why are you, because I knew that there was something always protecting me, and I know it was God, but I didn't know it was God then. But I was like, why do you not help me? Why do you not help me? It was like that, you know what I mean? And but I didn't know what it was. But I would always pray, like not knowing that I was praying, because with Jehovah you had to go through all these things and stuff. But there was something that was close to me, that when I got in trouble or when I felt really sad or something like that, I could always express. So anyway, I remember that thing, and I remembered how I would have died if that guy would have came up to me in the meeting and said something, that we did something or something together. But anyway, after a while, I never saw him again. He never came back to the meeting. But his brother was really nice, and we would talk. I don't know if he ever told his brother or whatever, but he never like exposed me. So anyway, I went through life like that, and as I got older, let me see if I can fix this. Yeah, that should be better. I don't know if that's better or worse. But anyway, so as I got older, um, it keeps doing that. So as I got older, I remember, because the slide is so different. Okay. Okay, so as I got older, I'm sorry. So as I got older, like maybe like 20 or something, there was, there were people that there were men that I knew, and I wouldn't do too much. I would do some things, but not too much. You know what I mean? So that was like how it was when I was a Jehovah's Witness, and I never told anybody, and I never wanted anybody to know. Okay. And what's another thing? Look at this light. It's like it has like this thing that is going off and on. I think I gotta change it. Let me see. Okay, so it should be all right. Okay, so that's as far as that went. So, going on, I did get married, okay? And then when I got married, I remember, I remember when I was married, um, it wasn't really a good marriage, but I do remember that whenever we would do something, I wasn't really like, I really wasn't into it, I didn't really, enjoy what, what was going on, as far as, us being together as a Jehovah, as a husband and a wife. I mean, I would do things, but I never really felt comfortable, you know. And however, like I said, it was hidden. It was hidden, the the my feelings that I had was like, it was like another life, because if somebody asked me something, I would say no, that I am not gay. I think I'm gonna have to fix this light because it's bugging me. I'm gonna have to take it and put it on this side. Okay, that's even better. I don't know why I kept it like that, but anyway, that light is really messing me up. So, because I think the wind is blowing it, and then it's like changing the lighting. So anyway, you're gonna get all this because I don't edit things out. If something strange happens, I let you in on it, and I just keep it. I just keep it going. That's one thing I like about that I like to give my viewers, is just the real truth. So anyway, so here I am. So anyway, I did get married, and there's a big deal about my wife because she followed me. Now I even know she knew exactly how I was, because that's another story. I didn't know that she married me for my paper, to get her papers, but she told me because she felt really guilty, and she what do you call it? She she followed me everywhere I went. She knew when I had a girlfriend, her and her friend. So she knew when I first met her, and I don't want to say this because it's in the other video, so I'm not going to really say it. It's in another one about her. So anyway, I went through this marriage, and it really wasn't a true marriage, because she was, anyway, it's another story. I mean, I know that she already had somebody before she met me, but she just wanted to have her papers. And so it wasn't really a real marriage, but I would still do things. I mean, I would do things with, men that I would meet, but like I said, I never did anything too much. I mean, it wasn't like, it was basically just masturbation. I mean, but it was like, it was the same type of people, same type of person that I am. And a lot of people don't realize that. Even a lot of gay people don't realize that there's gay people who don't really, I can say it's more like a relationship type gay. That's what type of gay person I am. It's totally relationship, because the people that I did it with in the beginning were all like, they weren't like, we were basically just masturbate. And it wasn't like, it wasn't so much, it was sexual, yes, but it was so relationship type. I mean, like you like somebody, like you're intimate with somebody. It was more like that. And a lot of gays don't realize that, because I tell them that, and they go, what is that? I mean, you're not gay, you know what I mean? And a lot of people would say that I wasn't gay. Even gay people would say I wasn't gay, but they don't understand that it's not just them. It's not, there's gays who who don't want to do sex with everybody in the world. They just want a certain type of person. I mean, that's it. It's, you know what I mean? I wasn't so much into, you know, the, how somebody was, like sexually, or what they had sexually. It was more like being with another man. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. Anyway, I'm trying to the best way I can. But it is a different kind of gay. And it's hard to explain. But I can explain it by saying it's more relationship type. So anyway, I remember after I left it, I wanted to use that to get me out of the organization also. So like I said in my in my what do you call it, judicial meeting, I kept saying that, but they didn't let me go. The only thing they wanted to disfellowship me on was my friends in the world, and they said the other stuff is no. But you can. They didn't even say you had to stop. The only thing they told me to stop was to stop associating with people in the world. Okay. Yes, I had a best friend. I had some friends in a relation, and I had one friend that in the congregation that I really liked, but that was another thing with me. Nobody in the organization. I would not do that. I mean, I did not do that, and I would just, I don't know, it just turned me off. So, so then I got, so I couldn't use that in the judicial meeting, and you can see that from the judicial whatever. Um, I think it's very important for me to talk about it because there was so many times that I said I wasn't gay. I mean, so many times, and I think I owe it to the people who are, especially the people who are like me. I mean, like who are relationship type, and even now people saying, "Are you gay?" or "You're not gay," or whatever, because you don't seem like you. It's because I'm more relationship type, and relationship type people are not going to express it to everybody. They're not going to go to bars and hit up everybody that they see, or they're not going to be aroused by somebody who wants just sex. I mean, so it's really, really different, okay? But I think I owe it to the people who helped me at least be this open, you know? But like I said, even back then, when I was, the whole time I was Jehovah's Witness, I was still a double person. I don't want to put this out, but, you know, I got to put it out anyway. Um, I would also always say, because I knew I wanted to be, I was either going to be famous or I was going to do something. I just knew I had some kind of a purpose. And I would always pray, but like I said, I didn't know I was praying to God. Oh, what about my secret? I mean, like, how am I going to keep this secret? I mean, like, you know, back then it was easy because I was like, oh yeah, I just won't tell anybody. Okay, but that's not the way things work. So anyway, I left the Jehovah's Witness. I got this fellowship for. I told you why I got this fellowship for. I didn't get just this fellowship for that. So they really loved me. I mean, even the brothers. There was two brothers in my judicial meeting that I mean, they were just we just love. I mean, I loved them and they loved me, and that's it. But now it didn't make a difference because they don't. After I got this fellowship, nobody called me or said anything to me. So then when I left the organization, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't so much into sex to where I just wanted to. That was still like secret to me, okay? And I learned about going to parks